What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 471st episode. Was that correct? That's correct.
You got there. Yes, that's correct.
Of the
It's on my
Pokemon
list.
Podcast. It's super effective. I literally looked at our ad copy for the week, which said what episode it was, and then I forgot. I'm your host, SPJ.
Now you've ruined it because the premium people aren't even supposed to know that ads exist, and now you've let them behind the door.
Now they know.
Bummer. I'm your host, SPJ. With me is Greg.
Hello, I am back from my wildlife rescue morning. We found a poor injured baby bunny in our yard last night, and we're like, oh, well, we'll do the thing where you leave it overnight because maybe the mom will come. Mom didn't come. So we scooped up Bunny and went to the wildlife rehabilitation center this morning and dropped the little bun off to get all fixed.
Forest do you live in? It was like 3 months ago. You're like, I got this rat that we took out to the Jesus or something.
I've got like 8 bunny rabbits in my backyard.
I took a rat to Jesus. That's exactly what happened when I went to buy Pokemon Snap. Look, I live in a green city. I have a yard, and we have bunnies, and we're pretty sure that wherever the bunny home was, one of the many feral cats in our neighborhood decided to do a midnight raid, and they all fled because our little bun was clearly had been bit by something, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't our dogs. Because they don't like it when they scream back. The animal is supposed to just roll over and be cute, but it yelled, and then they were like, "What? No."
Will also here.
I had the pleasure of having dinner last night with not only internet's Pokemon favorite, Greg Leatherman, but Spotify recording artist, Nicholas Burgess.
Indeed.
And their appropriate spouses as assigned last night.
I like that Nick guy.
Yes. We also had Brazilian-themed ice cream, or
we did.
iced dessert, because it wasn't all cream. Because mine was coconut. Ice-based dessert.
It was presented as ice cream, but had more things in it, and I had a lemon party in my mouth.
I was going to say something about late 90s, early 2000s internet culture and what Greg ate, but it is no longer appropriate for this podcast because he gave the name.
We have
coconut Madonna or whatever.
I had a coconut caipirinha. Caipirinha is a
yeah.
very traditional Brazilian drink made with lime and cachaça.
I waited over an hour for a hot dog.
I saw that on the internet, too.
And we
with
don't
no
have...
Nick Burgess, Will
No.
Anderson, or Greg Leatherman.
No, I had the best part was I had to wait by myself because Irene was like, my hair is melting in the sun. I'm going to go wait in the shade. And I was like, I understand.
Sounds like Irene.
I mean, it was hot years. We did. Look. All right, people.
If only Irene would choose non-butter themed hairstyles, she wouldn't melt so much.
I am the #1 Minnesota tourist. I did
tour giver, not tourist.
Tour giver, tour guide. I did 10 hours of showing the wonders of Minnesota to Nick. I took him shopping. We went and saw the Mary Tyler Moore House. We went and saw the defunct locks on the river. I did it all.
I walked around downtown Minnesota and played Pokemon Go with no tour guide, and it was...
I tried. I had to work.
No.
Did you see the Mary Tyler Moore statue?
No, I saw...
Then you've never visited Minnesota, honestly.
A lot of construction.
Yeah. Well.
And a lot of one-ways.
Yeah, well, downtown is on a grid, and the grids are driven by the one-ways.
Milwaukee has a couple one-ways downtown. Not a lot. A couple. Anyways, we got way too much to talk about the show to talk about traffic, ice cream, and Nick Burgess.
We had to get all the stuff that people are interested in out of the way at the start of the show.
Very
so
quickly.
then they go, oh, they're talking about Unite. Skip to the end.
Iced
That's true.
desserts.
Get
Iced
the
desserts.
secret word.
Look, we got timestamps. I spent a lot of time making sure our timestamps are up to date for podcast listeners. So
I'm glad you used those for the 2 people. You got to do chapters. You got to do chapters.
I don't know how to do chapters. No one supports
get
chapters.
good.
Okay, we got Unite. It came out. It's here. We're going to talk about whether it's pay to win. We're going to talk about whether it's fun. We're going to talk about whether Will already gave up on it. And we're going to talk about voice chat.
Look, it came up in chat last night, Will.
Which chat?
Twitch chat.
Twitch chat.
They saw that you
those
left
people.
They saw you left the Slack channel of Unite, so they're like, "Oh, Will must be over it." But we'll get there.
I wanted to say he also left the pet channel, and I'm pretty sure he's not over pets.
I mean, this one.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. It just cost me $1,800. I'm over it. Over it.
Okay, well let's kick off the podcast with a little fun, a little summer fun. Gloria and Intellion and Marnie and Grimmsnarl are on Pokemon Masters. We didn't talk about this last week because it was pre-recorded. The 2 Galar Region Sig pairs are here to see the best restaurant in Beachside Rival. There's a new story event. It's called Beachside Rivalry. Mm-hmm. Look, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is they added my boy Grimmsnarl to the game, and I love Grimmsnarl. I don't really needed Marnie to be in a swimsuit to have Grimmsnarl, but
Marnie is barely in a swimsuit. It is a pleasant top and a skirt bottom.
They're like swimsuit beachy themed. Do you wear it on
it's
a beach?
A beach theme, but I would not swim in that outfit. You get dragged under by
no
the
one's
undertow.
actually swimming when they go to the beach. They're laying in the sand.
You get too hot.
You get riptide and then you're gone forever. You can't trust that water.
Oh,
it pulls you right under and you're gone.
This spoken by a person who can't swim and thus has never swum.
They have
So I gotta stay away from
riptides in
that riptide.
Paseo?
Yeah, it's on an ocean.
But not all oceans have riptides. This is not how logic works.
Yeah, well, there are Pokemon who have attacks underneath that are going to drag you in.
Okay, I'll take it.
Did you pull on these, Greg?
I only pulled on Marnie because the 2-year is coming up, so I wanted to save my gems.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't really spend any gems for most of June and July. I was going to pull on Master Royale, and then that came and went because I've been busy, so at least I've been collecting my gems. And then I was going to pull on Ingo and Emmett, and that came and went. And hey, I got lots of gems I'm sitting on. So sometime this week I'm going to pull on Marnie for sure. Just Marnie. I don't really care too much about Gloria. I just want Grimmsnarl.
And
I do want both. Look, I want both. That's the reality. The reality is, though, that the 2-year anniversary is coming up. I need to save gems.
I need to save gems, too. I did get the Grimmsnarl.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. For
Nice.
one pull, I said I'm going to do
Is it
one
fairy
pull.
or is it dark?
Both. It's dark first, though.
Oh, okay. I thought
But,
Masters only has one type.
No, it has the 2 now because it shows the dark and then the fairy because it will count if it's got moves of that type.
Oh, okay. I missed something then. There's also a fossil event happening in Masters, and that ties into other fossil events in other games, and we'll circle back to that. I wanted to get the Masters news out of the way.
I have to check
First.
now because you questioned me, and I have to see.
Yeah, you can double check. Okay, let's talk about Pokemon Unite. We'll just get right into it. I just wanted to get the Masters out of the way. This is off unite.pokemon.com. Unite is now available on the Nintendo Switch. It says that...
Yeah, it's Dark Fairy.
Dark
FYI.
Fairy.
Yep.
The game is available for the on the Nintendo eShop for no cost. If you download it by August 31st, you will receive Zeraora's Unite license to help on your quest for victory. By battling in the first season of Unite, you will find essential items that will help you achieve success in future battles. Battling frequently will also raise your Battle Pass level, which they say here, but they don't really explain very well in the game, which is another way to obtain new items. When you upgrade your Battle Pass, you will receive additional rare items, like a rare Hollowware. That would be for Cinderace. I think it goes up to 90, the Battle Pass. Unite will be available on mobile. This is the question I got the most this week is when's it coming to mobile? In September. Crossplay between the Nintendo Switch and the smartphone. I'm going to read this sentence. You take for what it's worth. Crossplay between the Nintendo Switch and smartphone is planned, which will allow players on both platforms to battle against each one another. Additionally, if you log in using your Nintendo account or your Trainer Club account, you will be able to see your game data on any device. That was another question. So if you put a bunch of money into the Switch version, do you have to start over on the iPad version? Doesn't seem like it. With this feature, you can play on your home. You can play at home using your TV and the Nintendo Switch on the go using your mobile version. Or I don't know, you just take your Switch with you, I guess. But I guess you would need internet for that. And the game is out. So before we talk about the money or the battle pass or that stuff, let's talk about the game itself. This was the first MOBA I've played, although I've watched people play MOBAs. That's not true. I played like 10 minutes of Heroes of the Storm. I've watched people play MOBA, so I always understood the gist of it. And my biggest concern was, would I like a MOBA? 40 hours in, I still can't answer that question.
I mean, I think 40 hours in, the answer is you like more aspects of MOBAs than you hate.
Yeah. I think the answer is yes, I love the game. And yes, I understand why people who play MOBAs hate their lives. I think that is the answer. Like I understand very quickly the toxicity that exists in MOBAs and why people are always frustrated. Mm-hmm. I guess you could apply that to like team games in general. And I think back in all the raids I did in Destiny, which was like a 6-person thing, and then one person kept messing up their specific role. And it's
was
like,
that person potentially your spouse?
No. Yes, sometimes, but no other times.
I mean,
the difference is when Irene was doing bad, we would put her in a position where it would minimize impact.
True.
I mean, the same thing happens in raiding in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, you need people to know what they're doing. And if that person's not able to do that, I mean, you're like, get it together.
Well, the thing I've noticed too, and I would always say it vocally on stream, is like, oh, I bet I lost this match. I bet I'm the reason this match lost. And sometimes you have a bad game. Sometimes, like, you know, when I'm in top lane and that player is just better than me, it's like I'm not sure what to do. Like, do I move to a different lane? Like, do I just suffer? Like, I don't know that high end part of being like, this person is clearly outclassing me, and I'm not good enough to compete with them. And now I'm the reason the team lost. But I'm at least self-aware that, like, oh, it was me. I mean, it was me. I was the reason we lost.
I mean, I'm support, so I am where I support. But, like, if somebody can clearly do better than them, then you literally switch to supporting them, right? Like, you attack the things that are in their way. You switch your mode to being like, I am not the scorer here, but I am going to help assist. And when there's not something that they're actively doing, I am going to kill the wild Pokemon around me so that when we do a big push and I assist them to clear the way, I can make my tiny score. But like if a person's way better than you, like switch to support. But I mean, I am a support player. Like that is my happy place right now, is playing Eldegoss and healing people.
And you guys are talking about playing without being able to talk to the other people on your team, right?
Yeah.
There's a differentiation there, because I've primarily only played with people I was talking to and coordinating with.
So I play a lot of ranked stuff.
Me too.
Like I play ranked Apex Legends, and the reason I play ranked over duos or triples, is you get penalized if you dropped in rank. So what happens normally in like the free play is people have like less of a commitment. So like they'll die, and instead of like them waiting for you to revive them, they just leave the game and move on. And that's really frustrating. So in ranked, there's like that commitment of well, you can't leave because you'll get a 10-minute penalty, and then you can't even play the game for 10 minutes. And I personally like, even though I know ranked is like more sweaty in most games, I like having a visual of how I'm doing. Like, I am going from silver to or bronze to silver to gold, and then that's where I usually end up at Apex at the end of the season. Is I don't have a lot of time to play. Maybe I could push to whatever comes after platinum, but I like knowing where I am, and I don't get that feedback in like pickup play or just casuals, and I don't know. It kind of feels weird. Like, I guess you can still win, but at least in like something like Final Fantasy 14 or Destiny, like there's an endpoint, right? Like you beat the raid, you're good to go.
And
or
then you do it again
like,
next week because you need the drops.
Or in something like Destiny with Iron Banner, which wasn't really ranked, but it was more like we're doing this to get certain rewards. So when I did ranked in Unite, I wanted to do it solo because I normally solo Apex as well, because I want to know like my skill set, and I didn't want to like be carried by, because for every time somebody says like, oh, my team was bad, that's why I lost, you could easily and no one ever does this, but you could easily make the argument of like, oh, everyone else was good and I was bad, but we won because of them, right? Like even though you get worse people, you will get better people.
Yeah.
And I was able to make it to expert, which Greg also made it to expert, solo queue. And I was like really proud of that. Because it wasn't like, oh, I'm clearly the worst out of my 4 friends. And like the reason I got to expert was because of them. I wanted to be like, well, the reason I got to expert was because because of me.
We had good games last night, though.
Yeah, that was the first time I played with a real human on ranked, was with Greg.
And Twitch chat got to see my great support skills, my clutch plays. What was funny is because there's a delay, I would do things and have moved past, and then I would hear you talk about that, and I'm like, oh, that was 5 minutes ago. Focus. What are you doing, Steve? Focus. That was 5 minutes. Oh, wait, that's because you're delayed.
Will, what is your overall thoughts on the game?
I mean, I've been playing a lot of it. I tried to look up and see how much time I've put into it, but I can't. It's not enough yet that the Switch
It's like
says.
something after like a week it'll show you.
Something, yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. I originally wanted to main one character, and that was not working out for me, so I switched to a support character. But I pretty much have only played with like my friends who I'm with, either on a Discord call or in person. So we coordinate that way, and most of my friends are very experienced in MOBAs and have a lot, so they're kind of like just telling me how to go through it and what to do. I mean, we're not perfect, but I've been having a lot of fun. I think it's just it's fun to sit down because it's 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like if we have a half an hour to kill, we can do 3 rounds, 3 matches, and walk away. Dip in, dip out.
You don't like Talonflame.
No, I like Talonflame. Talonflame is not. I'm not at a level where I can play Talonflame well, as opposed to what I now play, which is Snorlax, which I have been able to get MVP playing Snorlax. We all know that getting MVP is all that matters.
We need to play together because we did a friendly match against Steve, where one of his members in chat and I just with Snorlax and Eldegoss at the lower lane, and nobody could get past us. We just kept everybody at bay, and every once in a while Steve's like, I haven't seen Greg this entire game. I'm like, yeah, because you're not coming down to Death Alley where we are murdering everybody, because you fools are going to come and try to take us down, and you can't.
No, I think our best combo was Snorlax and Alolan Ninetales.
That is an outstanding. When I do play Alolan Ninetales as a more support role, and Like the reach and slowdown of Alolan Ninetales compared to the I'm now going to jump in and wreck house that Snorlax does is an amazing combo.
And Greg, your overall thoughts before we move on to character roster and stuff?
When people have asked me the question like, "Oh, do you like the game?" and my response is, "I paid money. I gave them money."
Oh, you did. Well, we have to get to the
Oh,
money part.
Wait. So I have a quick. This was a discussion I had with one of my friends, and I'm pretty certain I can predict the outcome of how you guys would react. So my friend was playing and looked at the roster of Pokemon and was like, "Oh, geez, all of these Pokemon are so expensive to earn from points in the game."
Okay.
And I said, "Well, you're going to be playing this game a lot anyways. You love MOBAs." Now, my prediction is Greg will understand what I was saying, what I meant, and Steve will take it as my friend took it. So let's go with Steve first. Steve, how do you react to, well, you're going to be playing it a lot. You love MOBAs. You're going to be putting a lot of time into this game.
I would take it as like, yeah, unlock one character a week. It's fine.
And Greg?
Yeah, like you're going to get the
okay, so you both agree with each other. That was, I meant you will earn points.
Yeah.
You will get
points.
those. He took it as, if you're going to love this game so much, throw money at it right now because you want to unlock all the Pokemon. And I was like, no. I like looked up at the TV and he's putting his credit card in, and I was like, I didn't mean spend money. I meant you're going to earn the characters.
Yeah, you're going to earn the characters over time. Plus, there's like, so I will say this: the very first day I was playing, I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy Alolan Ninetales, and then I looked at it, it's like, no, I get Alolan Ninetales for free tomorrow.
Yeah,
I am not going to buy this. Overall, I really do enjoy the game. I get frustrated that people don't yet understand what they're supposed to do in the game. Like, if I am playing Eldegoss and you all leave me alone, I'm not doing my role. Like, you've all left. There's nobody for me to support. I can keep things at bay for a while, but they're going to see that I'm alone, and they're going to swamp me, and there's nothing I can do about it because I am alone and a support character.
And so let me explain, because it came up that I left the Pokemon Unite channel in Slack, and there's a very particular reason why I did that. That's an overall also response to kind of like the first week of the game. I have been playing with players who play a lot of MOBAs, who understand what the different lanes mean, who should be in what lane. They've already started doing configurations of this is the best build out for this Pokemon, for this lane, etc., etc. I also am the kind of person who, if I see an unread channel in Slack, cannot ignore it and am compelled to go in and look. And there's just so many folks in there who don't have MOBA experience, and also like overall, like people playing Unite right now who don't have MOBA experience, that I just got tired of seeing I don't know what this means, I don't know what that means, this, and like the repeated explanations. And I was like, I'll come back at some point when it's just the people who want to talk more key strategy and detail.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. People, like, the game did what it was supposed to do, which is get people into a series they have never played.
Yes.
I mean, I am surprised at, like, I have been up till 1 a.m. since it's come out playing matches, because it's always like, well, just one match, and I got to push through ranks. I'm at grade 4, and then I would get a team where I'm like, okay, you've knocked me down. Now I have to go in because y'all left me. And ultimately, like playing with Drew, realized like Drew truly is a Ninetales main. The things that Drew can do with Ninetales, because Drew has a much more aggressive play style, and I'm like, I like support. I like seeing the situation and responding to it, not I have to push to get goals. So like, I'm decided to focus on Eldegoss because I really, I don't find it stressful. Like most PvP games, I'm always stressed out, and that stops me from playing. In here, we'll talk about this later, but like there's not there's not a voice chat unless I choose to, and I'm going to choose to do it with my friends. So that's already going to be a different experience. 2, I feel like it's just 10 minutes worth of time. People are still figuring out the game. My frustration levels are probably with them figuring out how to play the game and not necessarily that they were bad or that I was super bad. Like it's been 5 days at most now, and everybody's figuring it out. It plays in a very different way. There are things I don't like about the game. Like there comes a certain point where you just can't catch up no matter what. Like also if it's internet and if one person just does like accepts and picks their character but then can't connect and they just sit back and base, a 4 versus 5 is almost impossible to come back from.
Yeah.
And there are things like the game doesn't register that one person is gone and doesn't like have a way to correct for that yet, so that it is just
kind of
does.
You can report them.
Yes.
If a person is gone, I don't know how long it is, it will replace it with a bot, and then you can tell the bot to be like top lane or bottom lane or middle.
I mean, we finally in one game got the bot a minute before the match was over, and it's like, okay, well, we have been wrecked this entire time.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a thing like I think Call of Duty and Apex both do this, but if you're in ranked and you drop, you should be penalized 10, 15 minutes of not being able to play.
I mean, and I do know that they have a good sportsmanship meter in the game. I don't fully know what affects that, but I didn't expect to like this game as much as I did, and especially on the first day while I'm like, yep, I'm giving this money. Like, I've already gotten $20 worth of fun out of this game, so yeah, I'll pay and have gems. I'm not buying characters, I'm not buying clothes, I just bought the extra battle pass.
There's not just a heads up, there's like not a big downside to buying characters. If you bought Ninetales and then Ninetales like was the free thing, it actually gives you like a bunch of coins because it acknowledges that you bought it. So it's not like, I get it. Like some people, like there's a lot of people that are playing Cinderace, but Cinderace is the 14. Yeah. Sorry, no, Cinderace is the 7-day free Pokemon, and then Greninja is the 14-day free Pokemon. So like, I get it. I mean, if Cinderace is your favorite Pokemon and you don't want to wait a full week, I said this with Cram. Like I was like, I'm sure Cram is paid. I'm sure I could, earn enough currency to unlock him, but I want to play my favorite character, my favorite Pokemon, right away because.
Hey, look, favorite Pokemon don't win games, dude. Yeah, you're off the team.
You're off the team
because that's how
Will and I against the world now.
I mean, I guess the other way is like, oh, just play it and don't worry about unlocking the character. Maybe you won't like it, but it's like, what if I do like it?
Yeah.
And you missed all that time. FOMO. Cramorant for FOMO City.
For things like Cramorant where the gameplay is really difficult, like what Cramorant does is very situational, and you really have to understand how to use those. Like, they aren't kidding when it's like expert characters. Like, you have to understand what these things do and why you would use them. The other thing I don't like about Unite is once you pick your moves, if you find out that other people aren't like going that route, there's not a way to say like, okay, well, switch me over from Pollen Puff to Leaf Tornado. Like, I can't undo the choice that I made, or at least I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Because like I'm realizing they aren't playing in a style that supports a Pollen Puff play style. I need Leaf Tornado to be able to stand on my own, but I already made that choice, and I don't know how. If you can, I don't think you can switch it to the other thing. So I'm stuck with a suboptimal choice based off of the situation I'm in. I don't have a way to change it.
Yeah. The thing that I feel like helps as the character you're playing. So like, I think I have a pretty good understanding of Cram because I've been playing him nonstop, and not a lot of people are playing him because they probably use their coins to unlock something else, or
also
don't have enough coins.
It's a hard character to play.
But the other thing that I feel like maybe people don't think about, and here's maybe a little bit of advice, is like understand what your character does against other characters. Like when the first time I saw Mr. Mime, which was like maybe
Mr.
like
Mime.
it was like literally maybe 8 hours in until I saw my first Mr. Mime. I was like, I have no clue what this dude does. Am I supposed to like rush him? Am I supposed to like keep my distance? Like how much health does he have? The same with like Cinderace. Like the first couple times I saw Cinderace, I was just roasting Cinderace, like just plowing through him. And then I found like the next day, like, oh, this Cinderace person is destroying me.
Yeah.
So it's like, was the first day of Cinderace just so bad? And then the second day people figured it out. So I feel like playing the character, even though you're like, I know, like when I first started playing Cinderace, I was like, well, I should play it so I understand what they do. And I was like, okay, I get it now. But also I don't like playing Cinderace, but it's still a really good understanding when you're going against the Cinderace or any other Pokemon to be like, okay, this is what it does. I still don't know what Wigglytuff does. I've seen like 4 Wigglytuffs, and I know it double slaps, and I know it puts you to sleep. I don't know what its other moves are, but every time it shows up, it's real annoying.
Cannot wrap my head around how Gengar works when I'm facing one. I'm like, where did you come from? How are you here? What am I supposed to do? Everybody left me. Please, it's eating me alive.
Yeah. Or you see Gengar come out of nowhere, and you're like, how are you already level 10?
Yeah.
Everyone else is level 5. Where did you come from?
Can I do a PSA on this particular thing?
Yes.
This issue. Okay. So, as far as I understand, please tell me if I'm completely wrong. You level up as you collect EOS energy in the field. Is it time-based?
No, it's by knocking out the minions.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. In my opinion, you knock out minions to collect EOS energy. So.
Oh, yeah. You just don't have to pick up the energy.
Right.
Okay. We all start at the base together. We run out into the field, right?
Yep.
If you see me go after APOM number 1, you keep going. Do not steal my APOM because only the person who gets the last hit gets credit for taking out when it comes to leveling up.
No. You get the energy. The last hit gets the energy, but whoever's attacking it still gets experience.
Yes.
But do you get enough experience?
So
that I'm not sure of.
So the main person gets, I think, a little bit more experience, and the assist gets less.
But just like get your own creeps, folks.
But
you don't need to take mine.
Here's the thing. I'm using the XP share item, so I don't get experience for assisting. I have to help you kill things so you level up faster, so my XP share item goes off and starts auto leveling me. So I'm always following behind and hitting a couple of things while I'm letting the person I'm following kill things. So it frustrates me. Like Steve would run past the thing that we're killing. I'm like, no, you have to kill this. Because
I didn't realize you were running XP until I saw, like, I was literally 40 hours in the game, and I never saw a light bulb above somebody's head.
Yeah.
And then you had the light bulb, and I was like, am I missing something? I've seen Eldegoss before. I've never seen this light bulb.
Yeah.
So the other thing, too, though, is there are faster characters and slower characters. If you are playing a faster character, run past the first 2 APOM and go towards the 2 that are standing, like, there's 2, like, one
I always
do
those 2 because I have an AoE, and I hit both of them at the same time.
Well, that's fine. But you don't, like, everybody doesn't have to stop at the first APOM, right? And
not with that attitude.
Yeah.
It's a team game. We're all going to team up on that APOM.
If you're the speedster, go on your own. Get into the middle. There's all sorts of things in there that you can kill fast and level our team. I was like 30
hours in. I didn't realize there's like a single Lillipup that spawns.
Yeah, but it's only worth 2.
Herdier,
I know, but I would always run past. Like I would always run straight up to get those APOMs, and then somebody was like, "Oh, Lillipup," and I was like, "There's a Lillipup on the map?"
Then you have to go around the wall to get to it.
Yeah, you have to go around the wall. Does it turn into Stoutland? I've only seen it turn into Herdier.
I've never seen it evolve.
I've seen it evolve into Herdier, but I've never seen a Stoutland. I don't know what level has to happen to make them evolve. Like I don't understand how they level up throughout the game.
It's just time. I think it's just time.
Yeah.
But let me revise my statement then. If you are playing a support character, let your DPS or your main the dude who's doing all the work, hard, fast, kill, whatever, get the EOS energy.
Yeah.
Because you don't need Snorlax taking a nap on the other team's goal to pop out some energy. Oh, it's really cute.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the battle pass and the money and the characters, because I'm sure there are very few people that have every character unlocked at this point, unless you spent a lot of money.
I didn't.
So we will be right back.
A Dynamax van. Did you see the things with the battling? Dynamax? The giant Pokeballs. And I said, yes, that is Dynamax. With the giant Mons. And then I say, that is Dynamax. Giant Mons. And then I say, Dynamax. 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 Just called the Dynamax. A Dynamax band.
And we are back from our break. All right. There's a whole roster of characters. I'm just going to run them down real quick just so we don't forget anyone in this conversation. We got Pikachu, Slowbro, Charizard, Absol, Snorlax, Machamp, Crustle, Wigglytuff, Greninja, Alolan Ninetales, Eldegoss, Cramorant, Talonflame, Gengar, Lucario, Garchomp, Venusaur, Cinderace, Mr. Mime, and Zeraora. So there are 20 characters altogether. We know 2 more characters are coming, Blastoise and Gardevoir, and then a mystery character. The game, it's not surprising, but the game doesn't give you a lot of characters off the bat, which was not maybe it was last week, but the week before, where I was like, I'm pretty sure Cram's going to be paid, and I'm pretty sure a lot of characters are going to be paid, but I didn't think they were only going to give you like 4 out of 20. I mean, they're like, what is it? You got Alolan Ninetales after 3 days. You're getting Crustle after 6 days.
You get Alolan Ninetales the second day.
Oh, second day.
It's literally like the next day. Like if you're gonna stick with this game and you want to see this character, like play it for a day, and then the Alolan Ninetales unlocks.
And they do a kind of okay thing where they like give you 2 characters to pick from. It's like I think it's like Snorlax or Eldegoss, or it's like Pikachu and Slowbro, I think, or something like that.
I didn't they give you like all 5 to choose from? I'm
4.
sure.
No, they only give you 4 because you can't go into ranked until you have 5. So you either have to wait to unlock a 5th one, which would be the next day with Ninetales.
I thought they gave you 5 to choose from.
Oh, do they give you all 5? I thought it was 2 choice. I thought it was
a
choice.
list of things because I had.
No.
I'm
pretty sure it was 4 to choose from, not 5.
It could be 4 because I think it was for me. It was Pikachu, Eldegoss,
Snorlax. Snorlax was in the same with Eldegoss.
And Slowbro?
Yeah, because I definitely picked Slowbro.
Oh, weird, because I saw Talonflame. I didn't even notice any of the other ones because I was like, obviously I'm picking Talonflame.
And then I did the math. So I based the math off the $40 gem purchase. So that's this. Let's talk about some of the problems of the game.
Okay.
The first problem is their currency is so obscure to make you not realize how much money you spend. And I just want to shout out Pokemon Go. 1 coin is 1 penny. It is very easy to know. Like a rocket radar is $2. A Poffin is $1. A raid pass $1. It is nice. It is very simple. It's not predatory in any way. So in Unite, it is $40. Actually, let's go up to the $50 because 50 is half of 100. Easy, right? $50 is 3,500 gems. So it's less gems than money, which, look, I'm partnered with DNA. DNA has been very nice to me. Their gem system also slightly obscure in that sense, because it's like 99 cents for... It's whatever. Their gem system is no better than this. But it makes it confusing on purpose, so you don't know how much money you're spending. So there's so characters end up being, at least based on my math, about $7.50, which is pretty equivalent to Apex Legends. So Apex Legends has it where you can buy loot boxes. They're $1, they're 99 cents or 100 coins or whatever, and then they have their characters. So you can either buy it with the in-game current, you can either buy it with this red currency that you earn just by playing matches, or you can just pay real money, which is around the $7 mark. And then Apex Legends has skins for guns and then skins for characters, and like the premium, the good stuff would be like $20 a skin, which I've said on the show many times, I think that's way too much for a skin. I was told by my Twitch chat that in Fortnite skins are about $10. But yeah, in Apex are 20.
This is... Kids these days have way too much money.
So the problem, or not the problem, but the Cramorant skin for your character,
the raincoat,
the raincoat
outfit,
is almost $20 because it's like 1,300 gems. And if you just look at the bonus gem, okay, so there's the first time gem bonus that I can't really see anymore. So I've spent $20 in the game. I did the first time gem bonus $20, which was 1,200 plus 1,200. And once you do that once, it's then 1,200 plus 130. And then they have first time gem bonus, so it's 60 plus 60, 99 cents, 245, 245, $4, 490, 490, $8, and then the 1220, 1220, $20. So I did the 1220 plus 1220. That was how much I gave the game. You can, just because that was another question, you can do all four first time gem bonuses. It's not like if you pick one, it locks you out of the other. You can do all four. But the Cramorant skin was... Oh, yeah. Here's another... Okay, so they purposely do this. It's really manipulative. If, let's say, the first time bonus didn't exist. So it's 1220 plus 130, right? Which is 1350 for $20. The Cramorant skin is 1370. If that bonus didn't exist and you spent $20, you are 20 gems short of being able to buy the Cramorant skin. You'd have to either go up or you have to make another purchase.
This is, the Cardfight Vanguard gacha game does something very similar where you can buy gems that you can use to do pulls to get cards in the game. But let's say it's like $10 for 1,000 gems. You put in $10, you get 750 of the good gems for pulls, and then 250 of the not as good gems. And I'm like, but I put in $10 of all cash.
Yeah, there's a bunch that do like that. I also want to point out like outfits. So I always try to compare it to Final Fantasy XIV. So buying a full outfit in Final Fantasy XIV is $18.
Oh, can we get even like currency complaints if this is our current arena? There is a Talonflame outfit with little pilot goggles and scarf, which I absolutely have to have, that is available as a reward from the energy canister, which of course is only random drops.
Yeah.
Unless you pay for the energy tank.
Yeah, so the costumes are different. And they don't do a super good job at like signifying that to a player who maybe hasn't played a cosmetic-based game. So like in Apex, I'm sorry, Apex is going to be the game I compare to the most. In Apex, there's like blue, purple, and then gold for like the stuff you can, and then there's like gray, but gray is like the default. So the blue you can still pay for. You can pay real money, or you can pay your blue currency that you earn crafting materials to unlock blue outfits. And then purple outfits are like better designed, I guess, and they're more money and they're more currency. And then the gold outfits are like the outfits that like change the whole appearance. They look really cool. And those are the $20 ones. And the Talonflame and the Cinderace are comparable to the $20 ones, because not only do they change the Cinderace and the Talonflame, but they change the pre-evolution Pokemon before that too. Ooh. So like Fletchingler will have like little goggles on his head, and then when he evolves into Fletchingdur, the scarf shows up and stuff, like each level of that. Whereas what is a Pokemon? Machamp has the beach floaty around him or whatever,
and he's got a lei too.
Yeah, he has the lei, but the Machop and the Machoke don't have any outfit at all.
Yeah, which I find super frustrating.
So it is literally the equivalent of like a legendary skin versus like an epic skin, but they don't actually signify that besides just like price. I don't necessarily have a problem with like these super rare, because like the Talonflame and the Cinderace also have like a cutscene. I don't know if you saw that. It has like this cutscene that happens when you like hover over the skin. It's really cool. If you go into the store or if you go into just like the character roster and you can flip between skins, if you just hover above Talonflame and Cinderace's skin, like you'll see Cinderace like swoop in on a ship and he'll like run around, and it's like really awesome. It's like a really good piece of animation. Talonflame has this too. But then Talonflame and Cinderace also unlock you a frame that you can like put, and this is a thing that Apex does too with like their heirlooms, which are their super rare thing. I think an heirloom out of a loot box is 1 in 300, but it's really exciting because it gives your character like an item they hold in their hand when they're running. It doesn't do anything, it's just cosmetic, and then it gives you the exclusive skin, and then it gives you an exclusive banner. So Unite does this too. You get that like pirate banner, or you get whatever Talonflame's flame banner is that you can put around your character itself. But Cinderace's legendary or whatever skin is at the end of the battle pass, and then Talonflame's is hidden in the loot box. So I would assume that eventually Talonflame's will move to a battle pass.
Oh, probably.
Or there'll be a point where you can just straight up purchase it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's whatever. It's fine. It's like a thing you chase. I understand. It's dumb.
Reminder, these do not change the gameplay experience of the actual character at all.
I am foolishly chasing the Eldegoss coat for my character because I think it is the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I want it so much that I did buy an extra tank to try to get it from the random drops.
I do want to just disclose, I said this on stream, the Pokemon Company did send me a code for Unite. It came with the $50 gem bonus, so 3,500 gems. So just full disclosure, I have not spent that money. I spent my own $20. I bought the Cramorant skin. I bought a Cramorant. I have not spent that money, but I just wanted to disclose they did send me.
Have you gotten your name yet?
I didn't respond to them. Yeah, they held my name. They held a bunch of content creators' names, like Cerebi had their name held. Because when I logged in that night, I went to do PKMNcast, and it said, this name is unavailable. And then I was like, did somebody already take it? And then I typed in Steve, and it was like, this name is not, or this name is already taken. And I was like, oh, well, that's a different message.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I on some blacklist?
Yes.
So I got SBJ, which I thought was like sweet. I was like, oh, 3 letters, SBJ. So I got that. So when then the next day they were like, oh, we held your name and here's some gems that we hope you enjoy the game. I was like, oh, that's really nice. But also, I kind of like just having SBJ.
That's pretty sweet. My issue.
What is the always be branding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Always
that's
be branding.
true.
Look, no one's gonna play me in Unite and be like, "Wow, that guy sucked. Let me go check out his podcast."
I mean, I will say that I have seen people who've played against in other types of games against a streamer who have come in to say, "Hey, that's super fun. That was a great match. I'm gonna hang around and see." Like, I will not be on board saying that people don't get things off of the branding that they see in a competitive game online.
My issue is, as I was typing in my name and not paying attention, I did not notice that there's a 10-character limit. And my typical branding is 11 characters. So it left off that last character, and I locked it in.
You can pay the however much to change it.
Nope. We are washing the sin for Pokemon Unite.
Which I really actually like. I was like, oh, there it is.
Okay, Greg, okay, so before we move to how much money Greg put in, the Cramorant outfit is $20. The only other two outfits that exist were the Snorlax outfit and the Talonflame outfit. Both are 554 gems, which I think is close to $10, because the Cramorant was $13.70. And I don't know why the Cramorant is double the price, because it doesn't do anything special. Instead, it's actually kind of a bad outfit. As somebody who's paid $20 for this outfit, I'm upset. It forces your character to be blonde. Like, I have black hair. If you're watching the YouTube video, feel free to like, subscribe. I have dark hair, and I think I get why it does the blonde hair, because it's supposed to like blend in with the beak.
Yeah. It's supposed to represent the beak, I think.
The crystal cap gives you blue hair.
Yeah, it does. But if I'm paying $20, this is the most expensive character outfit, and it forces me to be blonde. It's really frustrating. They're never going to change it.
I thought, so when I saw that, and I saw you complain about it, I'm like, I think, isn't the idea supposed to be like you're in its mouth, like you're the fish being spit out? Like, it's supposed to represent its open mouth and you're trapped inside? Like, that's the feel I got from it. So I'm like, well, yeah, I can see why they changed the hair color to match, so it looks more like you have been gulped by the Cramorant and are about to be spit out. But I
think
also
it's
get your frustration.
Very weird.
I don't want blonde hair.
To be like, we're forcing your hair to be different.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
For $20. For
This is a
$20,
Socks
my
and
outfit should
Pokemon
have
Go
more
complaint.
options than the $10 options. Like, what? Greg, how much money did you spend?
I did the 1999 125 plus 125 bundle. The top.
1200 plus 1200, yeah.
Yeah. I did that. I paid that. I put that money in. That's all I've put in so far.
You were against putting money in last week.
So, here's the thing. Like, I put money into Dragalia Lost because if I feel like the game has ultimately respected my time or treats me fairly well for the time that I put in, then I'm like, okay, I will pay money in to get fluff things, to get extra content, like things that don't really change the game. So it was a really good deal. I'm like, I'm definitely having this much amount of fun. I feel like I don't like the caps that they have. Like, I don't like that things cap out during the week, but I get why they did it. But I felt like the rewards from the Battle Pass Plus were good enough for the price, and I'm having enough fun that I'll make a one-time. I'm having enough fun that if I was at Target, I would have bought this for $20. If I had to buy a code and play it, I'm having enough fun that I would have walked into Target and said, "Give me that for $20." Easy deal, done.
And obviously, you bought the Battle Pass.
I bought the Battle Pass Plus, whatever the.
Oh,
it's
see,
like
I never did the Battle Pass Plus.
And the Battle Pass Plus. I did the Plus because I liked what the Plus items were in the list that it showed me.
It's the same things. You just get 10 levels above faster.
Yeah.
Which I used to do for.
I wanted to get those faster.
Apex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, they all have Battle Pass pluses. It's just you get a level jump off the bat.
It's the Clash Royale thing in Unite form.
It is.
Like I want those things and I want them a little faster, and I think the price was worth it.
I think that was like the one okay thing they did is you can't even access the Battle Pass till you get to level 5.
Yeah.
So you would think like, well, we already talked about how the gem system sucks and it's very obscure, and you would think they would be like, hey, get this Battle Pass right away. But it's not long. You have to play like an hour to get to level 5 or something like that. But you can't get the Battle Pass right away. I think the Battle Pass is like, in my opinion, of having Battle Passes in other games, Clash Royale, Apex, etc. I think it's kind of bad. It is full of like cosmetics that I would just it's the same problem Apex has. They just fill it with a bunch of stuff you're just never going to use. Like, I'm never going to equip these socks, I'm never going to equip these shorts, I'm never going to equip this like generic blue shirt. Like, I gave you $20 for a Cramorant outfit, I'm going to wear that. I'm never going to wear any of these other clothes. When you get near the end of the Battle Pass, you start getting a Pikachu outfit. You get like the Pikachu ear. Now that like the Pikachu ears are cool, and like the Pikachu hoodie is cool, and obviously the Cinderace special skin or whatever, that's cool.
Cinderace.
But like, there's so much filler in that Battle Pass that it's like not a great first Battle Pass, but we'll see in 60 days or
and their huge mistake was making the black t-shirt and black shorts one of the first like free things that I unlocked, because I was like, set, done.
Look, I am hunting the Elderglass outfit. I want the pants. I really want the jacket. I want the jacket more than anything. I kind of want the shoes, but I really want that jacket, and I am on the hunt for that jacket, and I'm upset that I haven't gotten it yet. And when people show up, if you show up in that outfit and I don't have it yet, you are not getting a good job from me, no matter how well you did. You are not getting it. I'm mad at you.
Will, how much money did you put in?
0.
So no Battle Pass for you.
No, if I'm going to buy anything, it's going to be the ability to acquire the held items and upgrade the held items, because that's what actually helps you to win the game.
Yeah, but the Battle Pass has the things you need to upgrade the items.
Well, but it has other stuff I don't want. So I'm just, honestly, so my evaluation is, yes, I very much agree with the philosophy that if you're playing a free-to-play game and you're playing it a lot, that throw the people who made the game some money. They deserve it because they've made a game. If I am sitting down by myself and not with one of my friends who loves to play MOBAs, I play Monster Hunter Stories. I'm not going to play Unite. I play Unite because it is literally the thing that brings me and 2 of my friends who play 2 different MOBAs. We can play this one together. So it hasn't reached the point where I would want to give it money. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy playing Snorlax. I don't need to pay money. I already got my float stone upgraded, so Snorlax is doing fine.
I realized, because I was talking to a friend of mine, because it came out and I was playing it on Wednesday, and they texted me, they're like, "Did you take today off?" I'm like, no, I'm literally doing it on conference calls where I don't have to pay attention. Like, I realized after the first day that I am playing this solo. I'm going into ranked battles by myself to learn how to play this game. This is not my normal experience for these types of games. I'm really into this game, and therefore I'm going to give it money. Like, I made the decision at the end of the day on Wednesday. I'm like, I've been playing this all day. I have been playing this by myself without my friends. I have been playing this game. I'm mad that I have to stop playing to go do a recording that I agreed to do. I am very into this game, and even if after a week that I've stopped it and said it's too frustrating, for that week and just for those few days, I'm like, you have definitely impressed me. I will definitely give this money.
Speaking of money, I did buy one character. I bought Cramorant, obviously. Not a lot of people have Cramorant. It wasn't one of the free options that you could pick off the bat. The characters are different prices. So, for example, Absol is 10,000 coins or about $7. Alolan Ninetales is only 8,000 coins or about $6. Charizard is 6,000 coins or about $5. I did ask people who played League. This is, or not League. It's League. League, yes, because League has character rotation. So every week on League, there's like 2 characters you can play for free, which this game has. This week, it's like Machop, or sorry, yeah, Machop and Gibble, or sorry, Garchomp and Machamp. I was like, why can't I remember Machop's evolution? Those are free to play for the week, and those will rotate, which is nice because you get to see if you even like these characters or not. And then they did say in League that some characters are just more money than other characters to unlock. I think League has like 80 some characters at this point. But they said like older characters will go on sale, or new powerful characters will always be 10,000 coins or whatever the most expensive. So that doesn't seem too uncommon in that regards. But like going back to like the buying characters, because there is a lot. There's just some characters like I don't ever plan on buying. Like I just didn't enjoy Machamp at all, to the point where like I'm just not going to spend the 8,000 coins on Machamp. Like if he's free for the week, I'll play him.
It's a good character though. You got some
but it's
speedy, tasty attacks.
But it's just not my playstyle. Like Venusaur was another one where I was like, Venusaur and Cinderace have the same thing that I just hate in games, where they have like this long range thing that you have to aim, and if you miss it, you just lose. Like you missed your shot and you're done for it. And I like Cramorant because Cramorant has like a lot of AoEs. Like the only AoE he doesn't have is Dive, which I don't run Dive. I run Whirlpool. I run Surf and Hurricane. But even with Dive, even though that's not an AoE, you don't really miss it because he goes right to the target. Anyways, so I don't know, maybe because I'm just a bad player and I can't aim. Like I can't aim Cinderace's Blaze Kick. I can't aim Venusaur's Solar Beam. Mad props to people who can.
There's a practice tutorial for that you can do. So actually, just in a gameplay mechanics thing, I have found that playing with the Pro Controller, I can aim with the R stick much easier than if I'm playing with the Joy-Cons.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I only Pro Controller.
The responsiveness of attacks, I find, is much faster on the Joy-Cons because the buttons are smaller, so it's lower press rate.
I heard somebody say this, and I 1,000,000% agree with them. I can't tell if the controls are too loose or too tight.
In what sense?
Like, I feel like when I'm aiming, I'm like, do I want this to be like a little slower, or do I want this to be a little faster?
So,
like,
here's the question.
It feels slightly off, and I can't tell which way it feels off.
When you aim, are you doing process hold down attack button twirl Joy-Con?
Yeah,
or are you
moving with top Joy-Con, holding the R button, and then moving bottom Joy-Con to aim, just like in a shooter.
Okay, so what you need to get to, pro tips, is hold the attack button, knock the right Joy-Con in the direction you want to go, and release. Don't swirl it to kind of aim it into. You've got to know and just knock that thing.
God. Okay, all right, I'll try that.
Knock and release. It's like the radial menus in Monster Hunter, right? Although what makes those easier is you're holding the other side. Like you're holding the left trigger and then moving the right Joy-Con to do the radial menus in Monster Hunter. But it's more difficult because both things are on the right side. So unless you can reprogram that.
Maybe I did the thing. So I played standard controls 8 hours or whatever, 10 hours the first day. And then I did the thing where I changed where like this is one attack and then this is the other attack, because initially these are the two attacks.
Yeah,
sorry,
that makes it harder to aim because they're both on the right side. So trying to hold the attack and knock the knob, because
your hands naturally fall on ZR and RZ, or ZR and ZL. Your fingers naturally fall on those. So that's where I put the two attacks, and I had to relearn. but it's way better because then this your right hand is doing so much, it spreads it out and it feels like I don't know, it feels like a normal game at that point.
I put the damage move on the ZR, and I put my heal move on the R because I don't naturally hit that button, so it stops me from accidentally hitting it. So I have to be more deliberate on, okay, I have to move up and hit my heal now, and I don't have to think I have to heal and use my other hand.
Pro tips.
It's like it is here, and then when I know I have to do the heal, I can quickly bump up, and I don't have to do a lot of things. The things that I'm really not good at is aiming. I am terrible at aiming. I did switch it so that the A button attacks opponents and the B button attacks wild. So that I can do that pretty good now.
I think,
but yeah, the controls get a little bit, and I am with you. I'm terrible at aiming, but luckily that even if I don't aim correctly with Pollen Puff, which I usually run, I just have to get it into an area where either an enemy is coming from or you're going to, and we all get a benefit from it no matter what.
I think the reason I can't flick, I was thinking about this, Will, is like with Cinderace and Venusaur, you have that like long range move, and you flick in that direction. But with Cramorant, I'm placing a circle where Hurricane is going to go.
Oh,
and it will
okay.
throw them up in an air. So I have to kind of like, I don't need it to go super far. Like when I'm getting chased, I actually have to put it like right behind my butt because that's where they're going to end up. And if I put it too far, they've already run past it. So I feel like I have to hold that button to like place the circle in the circle.
Yeah,
I wonder if
it's
there's
a
a
little
swap
weird.
to make it a little easier to hold the button to aim and then use your put it on the left side to do the activate the attack, and then that way you're doing two different hands. So you use your right hand for targeting, your left hand for activating the attack. That might make it easier.
Yeah, or I just give
Or
up
you
that
just
I'm never
practice.
going to be good at Cramorant.
No,
I mean, I have the same problem with Pollen Puff. Like, I have to throw it behind me sometimes, and I'm like, this isn't going to happen. I'm just throwing it on me because I get the speed boost.
There are some settings, and I changed all those settings where like one is like so you can like move and then aim, and that's like a toggle. Otherwise, and then there's like some smart settings where like the game will try to like auto aim for you, and sometimes that messes it up. There's some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
So-
nothing like having three of your opponents running towards you and your bros, and you hit attack and you jump over on it at an Audino.
Yeah, I hate that. Okay, so some people have this circle on the side that's got the characters
Yeah.
and pies. What is that? I don't know what that is.
So it's just a toggle in settings. I don't remember what toggle it is. It's like right below, you know, there's the advanced setting, which is you can hit A to attack everyone, or you can hit A to attack people and B to attack
Right.
enemies.
NPCs.
And that
Right.
messed me up so badly because when you spend 10 hours just hitting the A button, and then you change that to like, oh, now I have to hit the B button, and then when you're getting attacked by enemies, at least for me, I was like still hitting B button, but they're not enemies,
Yeah.
they're real people, so you're not doing anything. But then I realized that you can still hit the A button. It will do bots, but when a person shows up, it will
switches.
default to that.
Yeah.
And the reason you would want that on is because the game only cares about last hit. So you don't want to default attack like Rotom, because you might want to wait and then get the last hit in. So there's a reason to have that on, and once you learn it, it's worth having on. But you can continue spamming the A button.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't realize is even though B is attacking enemies or bots only when you want it to, bots being like the Audinose and stuff, sorry, for people who maybe don't know that language, it also cancels your move. So I would like Hurricane or I would Surf, but then I would go back to hitting B to like finish attacking the Audino, and then my Hurricane and my Surf would never activate. And then I was like, what is my game broken? What's happening? But because I was hitting the Surf button and then hitting B so fast, it was literally just canceling out my Surf. And it took me like 4 hours to like what am I doing wrong? Like, why is my surf get like? So like I turned it off and I was like, okay, everything's normal again. And then I realized, oh, like even though it's saying B is attacking bots, it is still canceling your other attack. Well, I don't know how fast other Pokemon attack, but Cramorant, there's like a small windup for Hurricane and for Surf. So once you get over all that, it's like fine. But there's a lot, like, I guess that's a good thing about the game. Like, you can really customize the controls, and you probably should.
Yeah, to fit your
definitely.
style.
Okay. Let's take a break.
Yep.
So we will be right back.
What is a Nidoran supposed to be?
It's a mix of porcupine,
A rabbit?
Dinosaurs,
mouse,
whales, jackalope,
probably a horse, and hamster. Porcupine,
a rabbit, dinosaurs, mouse, whales, jackalope.
probably a horse, and hamster.
Yeah, but then like, what is? But then, what are like what? But then, what is a Nidoran supposed to be?
Porcupine,
A rabbit, dinosaurs,
mouse,
whales, jackalope.
probably a horse, and hamster. Porcupine,
A rabbit, dinosaurs,
mouse,
whales, jackalope.
probably a horse, and hamster.
And we are back from our break. Before we talk about the pay to win that is Pokemon Unite, it is
Here we go.
podcast award season. So it ends on July 31st. If you're listening to this on July 26th, you have a few days. Look, you're going to forget. And I did a very bad job at promoting this month. So so I need y'all. Look, you would have waited last minute anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, do it
you
now.
have to go to podcastawards.com, log in with a new account because apparently the three of us tested this earlier and all the accounts don't exist from last year.
Yep.
So make a brand new account, name, email, password. Once you get past that, you go to Games and Hobby, you select It's Super Effective, and then you hit vote, and that's it. You can select other shows for history or best female or best male, all that stuff. You can do all of that as well, but we think of it as a happy 11 years. It's Super Effective.
There you go.
We're going to be 11 years. We got nominated last year, so thank you to everyone who helped nominate us last year. We were in the finals last year. We didn't win. There's not a lot of competition in Games and Hobby this year. So it probably takes maybe 3 minutes out of your day. Podcastawards.com. Click the button that says nominate. Make a fresh account. I promise your account from last year doesn't exist. Make a new one. We tested this. Make a new one. And then you just get a bunch of drop downs. Just drop down Games and Hobby. It's Super Effective. And then if you want to vote for other things, feel free to, and then hit submit. That's it. That's all you got to do. The more people that do that, there will be a second vote in August. And so we need as many people to do it this week, because when the second vote comes out in August, we need you guys to get randomly selected for the second vote, which is very weird. But the more people that do it, the more people that are in our favor for we've tried to win this for like 10 years at this point.
One day we will.
I think this is the year. As long as everyone does it this week, I'll remind you guys on Twitch. I'll remind you guys in Slack. I'll remind you in the Discord. Once you figure out that your email and password from last year doesn't work, it's much easier.
Yeah.
Just make sure to hit that checkbox on when you create your account that says you want to be considered for placing a vote for the final roster.
I think by default it's checked, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, hit that checkbox too. You want to be in the second vote. You want to have the power to vote. So yeah, that would really help us out if you do that. Also, it is near the end of the month, so I usually bring up the Patreon stuff, but I'm only bringing it up to save you money. So we're going to do, to celebrate 11 years, I'm going to be sending out these care packages to anyone at the $25 tier and higher. They're going to include a shirt. I'm not going to say what's on the shirt, but if you're following my YouTube stuff, there's a weekly series and there's like a logo I use. That might be on the shirt. Comes out every Sunday night.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's fine. But it'll include a shirt. It'll include a bunch of other goodies. It'll be very nicely packaged for anyone at the $25 tier. Now, I'm saying this because don't in July sign up for it yet, because you'll be charged $25 this week, and then you'll be charged $25 once it turns August 1st. Wait until August 1st. There'll be a little special limited time thing. So if you're like a $10 patron or you're a $5 patron and you want the gift package with the shirt and everything else, you can just sign up for August, and then once September comes, you can just downgrade. You don't have to stay on it. If you want to stay at the $25 tier, cool, because every 3 months you get a package anyways, but this is just a bonus package on top. It's kind of like a way to push people towards Patreon, to be like, hey, you can get this cool exclusive shirt. You'll only be able to get it through Patreon. And you get other goodies as well if you want to stay there, or maybe you've never gone to patreon.com/itssupereffective, but you want to, that'll be the time. So that'll go up on August 1st. It'll be a 2-week limited thing. So anyone who signs up for the first 2 weeks at the $25 will get that package. The package probably won't ship until the end of September. The end of August, though. Sorry, I think I said September. The end of August, though, just because I'm going to get the shirts made locally. And they take like 3 weeks because they got to approve it and they got to press it and all that stuff. So more details will come. But if you did sign up for Patreon, cool. I hope you enjoy the Slack and all the other stuff that comes with it, and the bonus podcasts and the ad-free and all that stuff. Okay. Pay to win. Pokemon Unite. When Pokemon Unite came out, I looked through everything and I was like, this isn't pay to win, because you can't. Okay, so it is pay to win. There's no sugarcoating that, but they set it up in a way where it doesn't look like pay to win, which is a little
yes,
deceiving.
that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, normally, no, Clash Royale was never.
It's just like illegal drugs. Have a little taste.
Have a little taste.
Then you want more. Well, the only way to get more is to throw some money and get these held items, friend.
Yep.
Clash Royale was never shy about being pay to win.
No.
The pay to win thing in this game is called Item Enhancer, and if you click on it, it is 10 tickets. I don't know what this currency, AOS tickets. There's AOS gems, there's AOS coins, and then there's AOS tickets. And in comparison, if you wanted one of these held items like Focus Band, it is either 1,000 coins, which is pretty easy to get. I was able to get 10,000 coins the first day playing, or 625 tickets. So you cannot, with real money, buy the Focus Band. Now, when there was a huge article on r/Nintendo or something, and it got a ton of upvotes, and the guy complained that this game was really pay to win, and he talked about these items. So initially he's wrong, right? Because you can't actually buy these items with money. You can buy them with coins and tickets, but you can't just put $50 in the game and buy these items.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get the items, they're permanently unlocked. And there's only like 15 of them. It's like scope lens, muscle band, wise glasses.
So far, yes.
It's like assault vest, Rocky helmet. And you need the item enhancer, which is only 10 tickets. You can't use coins, you can't use gems, and you need the item enhancer to upgrade these items. So at the surface level, these are the two things that equal the winning, right? Like you can buy characters, right? Like even in Apex Legends, you could buy Mirage, you could buy Caustic, you could buy Rampart, but those aren't really pay to win. They're just different characters and different play styles. I mean, I guess you could maybe argue that one character is more powerful than the other.
Until they get nerfed.
So if these items were just unlocked through coins and tickets, I think it would be fine. But the problem is the item enhancer makes these items better. And there's, in my opinion, a pretty significant difference. And I think if you're a casual player, you probably would shrug your shoulders and go, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But at these high-level plays or in matches, when it comes down to like, oh, he had 1 HP left, like that super matters. And
Yes.
I wasn't super convinced the first day I played. that these items mattered so much until there was a couple of YouTube videos that came out. So one YouTube video showed Floatstone. Floatstone, it says here, item detail, increases movement speed when not in combat. So that sounds pretty good, right? Because like when you die, you got to run back to an area, and if you can get there faster, that's better, right? Like I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. That sounds pretty strong. So a level 1 Floatstone. So the YouTuber put a level 1 Floatstone next to, I think it was like a level 20 Floatstone, and they showed the side by side, and the character with the level 20 Floatstone got there like 2 seconds faster, which is a pretty big deal in a 10-minute match, in my opinion. To get to an area 2 seconds faster to do what you need to do is a pretty big deal. The more concerning thing for me, I think it was Muscle Band, which increases attack. And I think this was a different YouTube video, but they put it side by side. But they showed, I think it was a Gibble or a Machop, both with Muscle Band. One had a level 1 Muscle Band and one had a level 20 Muscle Band. And the one with the level 1 Muscle Band had to hit the Audino 3 more times before it knocked out. And that's a lot in a MOBA.
Yeah.
Like, even you're like, oh, well, that's only 1 Audino and that's only 3 hits. You're probably knocking out 20-some Audinos in a 10-minute match.
I mean, I upgraded XP share to level 10. And for my Eldegoss, it gives me like, I want to say it's like 60 or 70 more health. And then I have the barrier that I also upgraded. So I have like 120 extra health. And there are new players who think they can attack me and wear me down. And you'll get me down, but I can hit my heal because I have a bigger health buffer than you're expecting. And it makes a huge difference because I can kite you back to a bunch of people that are going to murder you because you think, oh, this Eldegoss is going to go down soon because I fought other Eldegosses and they don't have a lot of health. Well, surprise, I have used the items to increase my health on 2 items. So I have a buffer you are not expecting. You're expecting me to fall faster than I am, and it affects my shields. It affects when I hit things and heal back. Like, it makes a huge difference over the course of a game, and the faster you can level them up, the bigger advantage you're going to have, and that is just a fact. It is a pay-to-win game like a lot of other MOBA games are.
Well, but with the caveat that you can throw $1 million into this game if you're not good at actually manipulating the characters on the screen or understanding the strat. I mean, there are honestly, before putting money into it, if you are starting to really enjoy this game, you've got to learn what the difference between Rotom and Dreadnought are. Yeah. And who goes for Rotom and who goes for Dreadnought, because that is very meaningful, and that's not about the money that you put into the game.
I agree that on some level, money isn't going to overcome poor skill level. It's going to help, but if you are just bad or you make bad choices or you don't know how to or where to go, like throwing money at the game isn't going to fix you not knowing how to play the game. But you're gonna learn how to play the game, or you're gonna find people that teach you how to play the game. Like, there are already a lot of good guides. Like, you should be here. You should be here. This is what this is. This is who. These are the people you're supposed to support, and you can take in that knowledge. But paying to win, or paying to increase these items, is going to give you more time to get that skill. It buys you a little extra oomph to help refine what you're doing.
Well, but also fundamentally, if you and I have equivalent skill levels in the game, but I have bought the items and upgraded the items, I will win.
Yeah,
I will beat you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Now I was told, again, I'm just parroting things that I was told by people who played a lot of League of Legends, that this did exist in League. It was called runes.
Correct.
And you could equip runes, and you could pay to upgrade the runes, but League has gotten rid of that system.
Yes,
where
also.
You can just equip a rune, and that's fine. Who knows if Unite will go down that route. Right now, whether or not you like it, it is a thing that exists in the game. So there's a couple. So I stress that r/Nintendo thing was slightly incorrect. I mean, they did say the game is pay to win. That's true. But they
Yes.
didn't explain how to do it. They pointed out 2 items. Or they pointed out the held items, and they pointed out what is the purple thing called? It's called the item enhancer.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
2 things you can't actually pay money for.
Right.
So the big question is like, how do you get that? So the way around it, the actual pay to win, which is like really kind of backwards, because I feel like if they just wanted to make money, they would just let you buy these 2 with coins. I don't know why they didn't, or gems. Sorry, I don't know why they just didn't put a gem button next to it, because they would have made money. Maybe they just didn't want it to be so transparent.
I think they don't want it to be so transparent. I think the importance of an easy barrier of entry and those things are hidden helps to keep the game from suffering from MOBA toxicity, right? It doesn't let people who are very familiar with MOBAs to be like, oh, immediately this is a toxic game. This is a bad pay to win situation. And I think it also gets hidden so that the majority of casual players don't interact with it and don't sort of understand what it is or how to do it. And so it sort of starts to separate out the player base to some extent, to like people who don't understand it can all have a very casual, still fun experience. And in ranked battles, they're going to start separating themselves out. And it makes a weird dual system in the game that I'm not overly fond of, but I kind of get their reasoning behind it a little
It's
bit.
very Clash Royale.
Yeah, it is.
So how you pay to win at this point in the game, or there's 2 ways. You either spend 200 gems on the gotcha mechanic.
Yep.
So that adds energy back into the gotcha mechanic. And when you earn, this is a weird mechanic. We haven't even explained this. The worst thing that this game does is there's like 17 menus.
Yeah.
And they all don't make sense. They're
Right.
all like, where do I go to equip an item? What is this gotcha mechanic? What of the 3 different stores do I have to go to purchase something? What currency am I using out of the 6 currencies you have?
Even worse, the actual biggest crime that this game has committed is the X menu, which is your prime menu for going through and doing stuff. You go X to open the menu. You select what you want to go into. You go into it. Every human on this planet has the expectation and right, I dare to say right, to hit B to get back to the
Yes.
X menu that I started from,
Yes.
not B to exit it all completely.
Yes.
So I
Oh,
have to start from the beginning again. Shame on you, Timmy. Shame.
Playing the game doesn't enrage me as much as that X and B combo, because I get so mad when it kicks me out. And I'm like,
Can I pay to win for better menus? Is
I
this
will
how-
give them money
Here's-
for menu improvement.
here's a true story. I was on Wednesday. I was upstairs. I was playing Unite. I did that exact combo, and I swore very loudly. And suddenly, my husband is running upstairs going, "What's wrong? Did you fall? Did something fall over?" And I had to look at him and go, "It's just this stupid game." I got very, very mad.
Poor UI.
Okay, so there is a gotcha mechanic in the game. We talked about this earlier. This is the way to get the Talonflame skin. The game, for some of its faults we've talked about, the game is transparent in its gotcha mechanic. It is a 0.5%, a 1 in 200 chance of getting the Talonflame thing out of the gotcha machine. But when you complete a match, you get like 20 to 30 energy. And every time you get to 100 energy, you can crank the gotcha machine, and
Yep.
it pops out a very bland shirt or like coins or something.
I got a pair of socks.
I got-
Better
and
than
I-
you, Pokemon Go.
I got, yeah. I
And
got my socks.
every week you get 1,000 energy, so you get 10 loot boxes a day. You can spend 200 gems, which is what, like $4, and you can add another 1,000 to it. You can also spend gems to earn more energy per week or whatever. Like you can earn the energy faster. So the pay to win comes in through two options: the gacha machine, so putting money into the gacha machine to get the item enhancers or to get tickets to buy item enhancers, or by leveling up your battle pass by paying to level up your battle pass. And that's not new. Literally every game, Clash Royale, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, they all have an option where you can buy levels in a level battle pass. But because you cannot buy these item enhancers outright, you either have to pay to upgrade your battle pass or you just pay for the gacha machine, and that is where the pay to win comes in. So they do obscure it in a way, but it like there's no, if anyone's trying to like say like it's not pay to win, I don't know what Kool-Aid they're drinking. It is. And that's like, look, it's fine. It doesn't matter if somebody's paid $100 or somebody's paid $0. I will still lose. It's okay. It's fine. I actually kind of feel better if the, $100 person beats me because, they spent money and I didn't. That's fine. It's okay. I think inherently, look, if you don't ever want to play a game that has a pay to win advantage, I respect that. Greg and I both played Clash Royale for 3 years, every day. It was pay to win day one.
Yeah, it was.
But I still won a majority of my matches. I still had a great time.
Yeah.
I think I ended up putting, maybe in the 3 years of that game, I put in like $25 to $30. 5 of it went to a charity thing, which I'm still very happy with, and it was fine. Like, it's so hard. Like, I get it. I get being like, this game's pay to win. I'm staying away from it. But also, like, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Whether it's pay to win or not, like, you're just going to lose. And for me, I've just never been, like, in Clash Royale, when I was, like, level 8 and you dropped in front of, like, a level 11 and all their units were maxed out. And, like, you recognize that right away. You go, like, oh, that dude spent, like, probably $500 to be where he is. Like, I'm not mad that he's going to win. It's just like, whatever, you won. Cool. Like, the matches are so fast. I'm just going to get into another match and move on. Like, it's totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a brief heartburn over the rank system when, like, I lost and it dropped me down a pip, and I'm like, excuse me, I earned that. How dare you?
Yeah.
But then I sort of recentered, and I'm like, I need to focus on less about the rank and more about, am I having fun, and sort of accepting the fact that I am going to lose. I'm going to lose a number of times. And what keeps that from being not a horrible experience is the matches are capped at 10 minutes. So I'm like, I'm just going to jump into another one and have a good time. And B, I don't have an active voice chat screaming toxicity at me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel
Greatly
like
helps.
there's this like perception of like, gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, people think that, oh, the game is pay to win, so I lost because they paid money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which in reality is like, I feel like you're just trying to like coat that you lost and just accept that you lose. Like, I mean, like it's what I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast. I can tell in a game that I am the weak link. Like it is so self-reflective of like, this is why we're losing. It's because of me. And I think a lot of people just don't want to accept that and don't want to point it out. So the first thing they jump to is, oh, that dude spent more money.
Yeah.
Like, you're just bad at the game, or you just had a bad game. It's like, like I have dropped in Apex Legends and I have died right away, and it's like, am I bad? No, I just dropped in a bad spot. That person just picked up a gun before me. My cat jumped on my lap. I have also dropped in Apex Legends and I've won like 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
With pickup groups, like. It's whatever. It's like you don't get the highs of winning without the lows of losing, right? It's like the RNG. You can get better at things And I guess the way to circumvent that is just always play with friends.
Yeah.
That definitely
But-
helps.
But if you have to just kind of like, look, the pay to win is bad. I'm not defending it. It sucks.
It's
and I
frustrating.
dealt with it in Clash Royale, and it was. And I would say that my Clash Royale experience was good because I played it for 3 years. If it was bad, I would have quit earlier.
Yeah.
But the game genuinely was fun.
Yep.
And it was doing a lot of things that I really liked that no other game was doing. And there's not a fiber right now in this podcast recording where I cannot say that Pokemon Unite is not fun. It is incredibly fun. It is a game mechanic or a type of game that I want in my life right now. And I will lose matches because I am playing with random people. And some people on my team might be good. And some people on my team might be bad. But that is the same for the other team. They might have really good players and really bad players. I might have an AFK player. They might have an AFK player. I might have a whale on my team who spent a lot of money. They might have a whale. Like, there's so many variables going in that I feel like if you're going to just push off the game and be like, it's pay to win, I'm not playing it. That's fine. But also, I don't think that's your problem right now.
Right.
I think your problem is you're afraid to lose over and over. And I get it. Losing sucks.
Yeah, losing stinks. And
Well,
here's the thing,
no.
You
No.
can tell when people are coordinated, like they're in a chat together because they
Oh,
can
yeah, yeah.
respond. They're like, oh, they're all talking to each other because these things are happening way too fast.
Or you roll up and everyone has very similar names.
Yeah,
And you're like,
like,
oh,
I haven't
they
seen
really
that
planned
yet.
this out.
I'm about to get wrecked. It's hard it's hard to suppress like the competitive nature that we have in ourselves. And if you get super frustrated at losing over and over and over again, like it's easy to be like, I just played an hour. I lost every match that I was in. And that is a disheartening feel. But I think
But I also don't think you just dropping a bunch of money is going to fix that.
No,
isn't
true.
Fix that. But also, a person dropping a bunch of money didn't necessarily make that different. Like, you sort of have to figure out what about the game makes you happy and play the game and be like, I still find enjoyment of this. I don't think somebody paying automatically negates that formula, right? Like, there are ways around the pay to win thing. Like, I'm going to play with my group of friends. We're only going to do friendly matches. I'm only going to do quick matches. I'm only going to do
the weird 3v3 match that you can do.
Like, there are ways to interact with the game where that doesn't become a huge factor.
I think you made a super good point, Greg. Like, you have to find what brings the enjoyment out of you. And I think I saw that. And I knew this was going to happen. I stream on Twitch. People always want a backseat. Like, this happens all the time. Like, when I do competitive VGC or especially if you're ever playing the Pokemon trading card game online, people are like, why'd you play that card? Why didn't you do this? Why'd you do... Like I had somebody go, like, why are you using that held item on Cramorant? Because I'm using the silly claw, the Apom claw thing, which lets you do more damage to bots.
Oh yeah. Is that the
And
fluffy tail one thing?
Fluffy tail.
Yeah.
Fluffy tail, yeah.
And they were like, oh, you should be running eject button on Cram. And it's like, or they'll be like, why are you running Hurricane and not Air Slash? And it's like, because I legit have fun with this moveset and this item.
Yeah.
So I am sure that Air Slash or Dive is a better combination than Surf and Hurricane. I am sure that this Float Stone shouldn't be on Cramorant and Shell Bell should be. But the way I set up my Cramorant, I love it.
Yep.
And it is fun for me, and it has gotten me to where I am in it, and I'm cool with that. And once I get bored with that, or once I feel like I am confident and I want to venture out, I will make that move. But I think it's really important for people to play something you are super comfortable with. And if somebody wants to give you feedback, like if I'm like, I hit my ceiling with Cramorant, I'm not sure what else I can do. And if that choice is removing Float Stone and putting on Assault Vest, I'll do that when I get there. But like right now, I like where I'm at.
Yep.
And I'm having fun. And I think that's super important,
Yeah.
is like, if you have a different mindset where like you want to come into this game, you want to drop some money, you want to be the very best, props to you. I'm genuinely having a good time just playing.
Yep.
I don't get I can't say I don't get salty when I lose. It is incredibly frustrating when you have a teammate that like wants to give up in the first like 2 minutes of the match. It is frustrating when you have a teammate literally refuse to leave camp and they've just accepted the game as over. It also feels good when that teammate literally sat in camp for 8 minutes and you still win the match.
Yeah.
That felt great.
Yeah.
And it also felt great on the winning screen when everyone thumbs up each other, but that one dude that didn't do anything. And then I reported him for being inactive because he was.
Oh, I didn't even know you could thumbs up people.
Yeah, you can. Good job, people. Here's the thing. Here's my life advice for this podcast. Advice isn't advice unless the person asks for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just giving advice and the person never asked for it, you're just spouting your opinion at a person who's like, go away.
Yeah.
Advice only becomes advice if somebody says, hey, can you give me advice on what I'm doing here? Because they're only then are they receptive to hearing what you have to offer.
Right. Like if I say to my Twitch chat, I don't know what I did bad in that match. Like I was last in the match. I kept getting killed by this Gengar. I don't know how not to get killed by the Gengar. I don't know. Should I go somewhere else? Like, and no one has an answer, right? And that's fine because everyone's new at the game. Like, there was one point I was playing Garchomp, and like right before I never played Garchomp. It was just like the team needed an all-rounder. I was like, I'll take one for the team. I'll switch to Garchomp. I played him like twice, and then like I panicked and I added my 3 best items. It was like Shell Bell. It was literally what I played on Cram. And then somebody in chat was like, I don't think Shell Bell should be on Garchomp after I like died, and I went. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a whim and say Shell Bell is not the reason why I'm losing right now. I'm very confident. Like, my held items in this situation do not matter. This team has been, like, stopping the whole... Like, me and everyone else, like, it's fine. Like, it was clear that our team had no synergy. I'm not very good at Garchomp. They had some sort of coordination, whether it was voice chat or not, and they destroyed us. Like, it wasn't even close. And that's fine. Like, that happens. Same thing in any other game. You can drop in Apex Legends and just get wiped right away. It's not the end of the world. It's nice that Unite matches are only like 10 minutes long, and that 10 minutes goes by super fast.
There's
10 minutes
one thing
is like longer than the 3 minutes of Clash Royale. So like it is a bit of a time sink, but it can feel long. It can definitely feel long when your team gives up like 3 minutes in. But if your team is genuinely trying and it feels like an even fight, that 10 minutes goes by.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I've never had that experience.
Our final battle last night where we were struggling back and forth. And we lost, but only by a small margin.
Yeah, I think we only lost by like 50 points.
And like, it was still a lot of fun. Like, I still had a great time. We lost. And it was not a close game for the whole start of the match, and then we really cranked it at the end, and we still lost. But I felt like everybody got together. We did a lot of great things. I made some mistakes. I know I did. I did dumb things, whatever. And it's still fun. Like at the end, I'm like, that was still a good game. There is one thing I wish I could turn off. It's the announcer saying, "You lose" at the end. Yeah, I know. You do not have to yell this at me. This is not a function that needs to be in this game. I am aware that I lost. I do not need an announcer screaming from my TV that I lost. Let me turn that off or just get rid of it. Nobody needs it. We know we lost.
I mean, just turn the volume off.
I mean, I try. But then it gets really weird.
So my key point in all of this that I want to get across is the reminder that we must frequently make to people, like people who play TCGs, people who play MOBAs, people who play anything that's player first player. Games are for fun. If you're not having fun and just playing it is making you angry, stop. All right? Because you're going to go into an anger pit. The game's not going to be fun for you. It's just going to become an obsession.
Yep.
And you just need to walk away. If
There was
you
a point
can't lose and laugh then you're playing the wrong game.
There was a point very early on in Clash Royale where I was not having fun, and I think I stepped away for 2 weeks, and I think they did some sort of update to the game. They did a lot of updates to Clash
They did a
Royale,
lot of updates to that game.
but they genuinely made the game better every time, and made it more accessible, and made it more, and like they balanced characters and stuff, and like right now, oh, we didn't even talk about this. Like right now, it is definitely frustrating to play against Zero Aura.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably maybe say Gengar, maybe because I don't understand how Gengar works.
Yeah, I figured out Zero Aura's deal. Like I can usually go toe to toe with Zero Aura. Like I also played Zero Aura for a while, so I know what like they do. I do not get Gengar. Gengar wrecks me every time. I'm like, oh no.
Like no one's going on social media being like, Mr. Mime is overpowered or Cramorant's overpowered or like I can't figure out Alolan Ninetales or anything like that. It is like primarily Zero Aura and Gengar that have a lot of frustration around, and Zero Aura kind of makes sense because like it wasn't in the Canadian beta, it wasn't in any of the Chinese betas. It was like specifically just added, and I am sure that like other games, these characters will be tweaked. I don't know if we have to wait till the end of the season for that. I don't know if we have to wait a month. I don't know if we have to wait 2 weeks, but it does feel like specifically Zero Aura and Gengar are just a pain to play against. It's not impossible though. I feel like Zero Aura is on every enemy team I play, and like I think I have like a 65% win ratio or something. So it's like not impossible.
I think the case that Zero Aura is overpowered is faulty. I don't think Zero Aura is overpowered. I think it came out of nowhere. I think nobody knew what Zero Aura did. It has a very unique play style, and I think people capitalized on it very early on. I don't see Zero Aura dominance like I did the first day. I think it took people time to understand what the attacks are. Like, discharge is going to do this. If it hits you and it has a stun effect, and that it can combine these things up. So, like, you're learning how to compensate for it. I think Gengar, being a locked character, has a similar problem. Like, I don't run into it often enough, and I don't know what it does. I don't know what to expect from it. But like Zero Aura, I expect the minute it shows up, it's going to spark at me. It's going to jump right to my thing, so I need to eject away from where it thinks it's going to be.
The thing with Gengar is it poisons you, and then Hex does a ton of damage. Yeah. And there is technically an option in the game, which is full heal. You could full heal yourself in poison, and theoretically Gengar shouldn't be able to like one-shot you. But no one's running full heal. Like everyone is just running eject button.
Right.
And like it's literally like the 4th day of the game, and everyone just default. And it doesn't help that like YouTubers are like, eject button is the best button and it's the best item, and it's like, yeah, it's good, but also what am I doing against Gengar besides getting poisoned and then instantly dying? Maybe I should run full heal. I don't know.
Eject button makes sense for me. I need to get out to heal people. I need to jump. Like, as Eldegoss, I need that extra movement. I need to be able to get to a place where I can heal and survive. Like, I need the boost. Other people don't need the boost. Like, understand what your character is supposed to be doing. Helps decide that button. Eject button doesn't work for everybody.
The reason I don't run eject button on Cram is because I still can't get away from things fast enough, even with eject button. Like I think Pikachu has a little bit too much range, because even eject button away from Pikachu, I still lose that running away. Like, it's whatever Electro Ball just follows and hones in so well. I still, like, with eject button, I still can't outspeed Gengar. I still can't outspeed Absol. I still can't outspeed Talonflame's not a problem. No one's playing Talonflame. It's fine.
I mean, some people are.
Yeah.
There are some good Talonflame players out there. But, like, eject button allows me breathing space to get another heal in. And if I can get the gap for a second and get another heal off, I can win that fight. I can kite you back to where you're slowed down, and then I can really win that fight. But I don't. I think everyone's like, oh, just use the check button because it lets you get away. Like, no, like that's great for ranged attackers. That is not great for other things. That's not great for Snorlax, who needs to stay up there, and Wreck House. Snorlax needs a different item. But again, it's early. People are still trying to figure a lot of things out. Like what's ideal. I've had people say, "What are you doing running XP share? Like you don't get to auto level." And I'm like, for a million reasons I use XP share. Like there are other benefits that I get from it.
Yeah, it's like a very meta thing of like I've seen lists where people put Venusaur at the bottom.
Yep.
And like Venusaur's the worst character. Don't play Venusaur. And I was literally in a game where Venusaur destroyed everyone.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know what and I knew playing in the game, like whoever Venusaur is, I don't know what you're doing at the 2-minute mark. You're rocking it. 4-minute mark, holy cow, what are you doing? You're so good. 6-minute mark, I could just stop playing. Whoever's playing Venusaur, they're just winning. And like, and then the end results came in, and it was like, yes, Venusaur literally dominated the entire match. And this is like a character that most people wrote off like right away in 4 days. We're like, no, don't play Venusaur. He's the worst character. And it's like there's so much that like people play in different styles, and people like different things, and people have like, I don't know, maybe if that Venusaur player moved to a Zeraora player, they would have done even better. Who knows? But like I get why there's a toxicity to MOBAs or maybe other games of like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you using this move? Why aren't you using this HUD? Why are you going like, calm down.
Calm down.
It was always frustrating for me to play VGC because I work with a coach. I work with somebody who won a world championship. So people would come into my stream and they would be like, why aren't you running light screen on Grimmsnarl? Why are you only running reflect and not light screen? And they're giving me all these like points about my team as I'm playing, which is like fine, whatever. Like I get it all the time, but it's like, and like I know it's like really pretentious to say, but it's like, well, how many world championships have you won? Because literally a world champion helped build my team, and we practiced it, and we went through, and there's a reason why we're only running reflect on Grimmsnarl, and we're not running light screen, and like, I don't know where people come from with their like, why aren't you doing this? And it's like, I feel like maybe there's a good intention of like, I'm trying to help you out.
There is.
But it's like.
But C point A, advice that's not asked for is just your opinion.
So yeah, it's frustrating.
People have the best intentions, right? They want you to do better, but how they express their best intentions is sometimes very toxic.
Overall, I think Unite is great. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think anyone thought that this game was going to be released and be like this perfect, amazing game. I think if they keep adding new clothes, they keep adding new characters, I think if they balance stuff, I think that would be great to increase the life of the game. I am sure there will be in like 2 weeks, Pokemon Unite is dead, even though I'm sure it will be still making a lot of money and it will still be really healthy. It's just the players who wanted to play it for a week fell off, and that's fine. I'm sorry. One more thing before we move on. I just want to talk about Zapdos as a mechanic. Zapdos is like the golden snitch of Pokemon Unite. If you've ever watched Harry Potter, most games are won when the person catches the snitch because it's worth so many points. Zapdos is that mechanic. It always appears in the center at the 8-minute mark. It is very frustrating when your team wants to concede before Zapdos.
At the 8-minute mark?
Yeah. It appears at 8 minutes.
No, 8 minutes in.
8 minutes.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, 2 minutes left.
8 minutes in, 2 minutes left. It's very frustrating when your team is losing and your team wants to concede. And if I was on voice chat, I guarantee you it wouldn't change the conversation because I would be yelling, we can still win with Zapdos, and they would probably be like, I don't care, we already lost, game over, concede. But the amount, like, I think out of the 60 games I've played, Zapdos has always won me the game with the exception of 2 games. And to be fair, not every game Zapdos was taken. Like there are probably like 10 out of the 60 games where no one got Zapdos. They just ignored it. But you can be losing, and I know some people have said like they need to change Zapdos. It's too powerful. It changes the game too much. But I don't. But if you're losing for 8 minutes, like it is literally the way you can win. It's not a guaranteed win, but if you change Zapdos to the point where like it doesn't matter as much, then there's not that weird comeback thing. And like if you're winning, Zapdos is just as important. And if you're losing, Zapdos is everything. So I don't know how they fit. I like it. I like the snitch mentality of Zapdos. I think it's weird that, you know, we're 4 days in and like if you're losing and your team still doesn't go to Zapdos, I don't know what's going through their mind. I don't know how they think they're going to win if we're at 8 minutes and they're not ignoring Zapdos. Like it is the win condition if you're losing. And it is the thing you should still go after if you're winning. Like I feel like, at least to me, it feels balanced in the sense of like, this is an important match. This is an important point of the match for both players still. And it's not a guaranteed win. Like I said, like we've gotten Zapdos twice and we still lost out of 60 matches. But I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Well, I think what people are misunderstanding is they want the game to be only one thing. I gather energy, I score points on goals. And what they're actually doing, or Timmy Tencent is doing, is saying 8 minutes into the game changes. It becomes either prevent your opponents from getting Zapdos or do everything you can to get Zapdos, right? So that is, it's a catch-up mechanic. There are a ton of catch-up mechanics in this game, right? Because the more you score on your opponent's goal, guess what? You have fewer goals to get to, and it's harder to get to them. They do tons of things, but it's like the players who are complaining about Zapdos only want to do one thing, and they don't want the game to convert at any point during the game. And I've seen other Pokemon in the middle. So,
well, on like the 3v3 map, they put Avalugg in the middle.
Yeah.
And then in like the 4v4, I think they put Regigigas in the middle.
Yep.
Sorry, I think I flipped those. I think Regigigas is 3 vs 3. Avalugg is 4v4.
No, Regigigas is the... Yeah, Regigigas is the 3. Avalugg is the
4, because
4.
Avalugg's on the Snom map.
And there's one more. Because there's another map.
But I would still argue that the same people who don't understand that the game has to shift once Zapdos appears are the people who completely ignore Rotom and completely ignore Dreadnought. Because they don't understand that those are actually mechanics that you need to, or even further, ignore Ludicolo and ignore Bouffalant, which are buffs that somebody should be grabbing.
Yeah, the speedster in the middle needs to be grabbing those so that you get buffs. Like they're important parts. They aren't necessarily game breaking. I like last night the other team got the Zapdos and we still held them off long enough to make it an incredibly close game. Like Zapdos is a win condition. It is not a for sure win condition.
Exactly.
But it is one of the few catch up mechanics. It won't overcome certain things. Like if a person is just sitting at base and you're a 4v5, it is still going to be hard winning Zapdos to get to those goals to score because you still have to get to them and you still have to get the energy into the goal. And sometimes that's not possible if somebody has given up. But it is one of the few catch-up mechanics that is still very important.
What's really happening is basically like you've been in a basketball game for 8 minutes, and then for the last 2 minutes, it's a boxing match. Or what is it, like what is it in wrestling when all the wrestlers get in the ring together? Free-for-all?
Yeah. Free-for-all is a battle royale.
It's like, but that's the game.
Yeah.
That's the game that they designed and gave to you. You can complain because you only see it from one perspective, but try to open your mind to understand that the design of the game is basketball for 8 minutes, 2 minutes of free for all.
I don't know. Like, there have been so many games, and I think the 3 games we played, Greg, we were losing the first 8 minutes, and it was because of like I feel like if you remove the Zapdos mechanic or you make it weaker where it doesn't score as many points, I feel like that just makes the first 8 minutes more of like, well, we should just give up.
Right.
Because like even there has been so many games where it's like, okay, we're losing, but we can still win this. We're losing, but we can still win this. We're losing, but we can still win this. And then we get Zapdos and we win this. And the games where we're losing, we need to go to Zapdos. Oh, we didn't get Zapdos. Yeah, of course we lost. Because like, how, like there was no, like that is the way we win is Zapdos. And there's been games where we've been winning. We've been winning. They got Zapdos. Oh, they just won. Like, why didn't anyone go to protect Zapdos? Why did we ignore it? Like, Will is right. The game changes at 8 minutes, and it's an important end of the game. And I think reality, like, thematically, it's exciting, too. Like, you are separating the team of 5 into 3 areas for 8 minutes. And then at the last 2 minutes, those teams have to come together and have synergy. I don't think it's terribly broken. I just think the game changes and people haven't figured out how to adapt to that yet.
Yeah, I will say, like, I've gotten the habit if somebody says, oh, I'm voting to surrender, I've been going along with it because that person has just given up and stopped playing. And at that point, fine. Like,
I don't want to give in because, like, I feel like that person saying we're surrendering at 4 minutes. Have they never won with? Do they know that Zapdos appears at 8 minutes? do they even know there's an end game? Like, have they never won by getting Zapdos and feeling like, oh, we can still win this? Like, what? I don't know. I don't get it.
I have a feeling people are like, I'm just gonna count this loss. I want to get in the next game with whatever reason. Like, it is often often a salty person, and quite frankly, like I have voted to stay and have won, but more often when that happens and I voted to stay, they have refused to play, and
then you give everyone else a thumbs up, and you report that person for idling, and they get a mark, and they, I don't know, become a better player. Like, I feel like the people that have the mindset of like, I'm just gonna throw in the towel, this is a loss. Like, I get it. Like, if you lost at Zapdos, you've been losing the whole game, you lost at Zapdos, there's a minute left, sure, I guess concede, right? Like, save yourself a minute of time. But if you have the mindset of like, I'm not even going to try to play out the Zapdos part and I'm just going to give up now, like, I feel like your mindset is you're always going to be in Great League or you're always going to be in Expert League. Like, you're never going to push forward because you're not challenging yourself to come back from situations.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that it's important, but like I've had a lot of bad experiences of people who just give up, and I didn't sort of like the report function isn't obvious. Like, it took me a bit to find it, to be like, oh, this is what we do.
I wonder how it works though, like, because it took me like 3 days to realize there's a thumbs up button. And I learned the report button in the first day because like you would play like in the first 5 matches, I think we had somebody like just idle in base. And so at the end screen where it shows everyone's score, you can like tab over and you can go up to the name and you can hit X and you can hit block so you never play with that person again. But you can also it'll say report. And there's 2 things you can report for. You can report for idling, and then you can report for, I think, like harassment. But the harassment doesn't exist yet technically because the reason we brought up voice chat earlier is because there is a button for in-game voice chat. It's just not, they just don't have it on. Like, it just doesn't exist yet. I think it might exist through the Nintendo app.
Probably.
But there's no like in-game voice chat in Unite as I think most people probably are with friends and they're through Discord, and that's fine. But yeah, you can do harassment or you can do like not playing / idling. And when you hit the not playing / idling, it says it will give them a 10-point deduction on their account. But obviously that's not manually looked by at a human. It's just taking your word for it.
I've seen them get reversed.
Yep.
Like somebody lost points and then they get a follow-up message that says we actually restored your points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've
But
heard of that.
I wonder,
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody got reported for idling, but then they also got like thumbs up for good job. I wonder if that cancels it out. But I didn't realize the thumbs up was it's like a button right below, I think, report. It'll say like good job. But you should ideally you should be good jobbing like players that are like it does feel good to get a good job. And Monster Hunter does this and Final Fantasy does this, where at the end, instead of just complaining about people, you can be like, hey, even though we lost because Ethan over here sat in the base for 8 minutes, that Lucario dude was awesome. Give him a good job. Like, reinforce good behavior.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
All right. Sorry, no question of the week. We ran long.
I didn't even prepare a song because I knew this would be like a 17-hour show.
Will, what is our Pokemon of the week?
All right, let's do it quick. Last week's Pokemon. Think of recent events. This week's Pokemon has less to do with dragons than it has to do with the woman who lent her family name to the Sonic Youth side project that produced the Whitey album on April 5th, 1988. So easy.
It's
Chinchino.
What?
Gudra.
This came out last week, Monday.
Look,
Gudra.
I have been playing Unite. If it's not a character in Unite, it doesn't exist anymore.
What? So the entire previous weekend when I had to spend 40 hours with you people meant nothing.
Jeez, you people.
You people.
It meant a lot in our friendship, not towards Pokemon of the Week.
What? Gracious me. Did you go to Pokemon Go Fest?
Mm-hmm.
What did you get at the end of the first day of Pokemon Go Fest?
4 shiny Scyther.
No.
Dino.
You got Meloetta. Meloetta is based on Madonna because she sings and she dances.
I don't know.
I feel like that's Britney Spears. I feel like that's Christina Aguilera. I feel like that's
could be
Then
Shakira.
you
Shakira.
need
Definitely Shakira.
Oh, definitely Shakira. You heard it here first. Meloetta based on Shakira.
no.
Hips don't lie.
None of these are from New York. Madonna came from the club scene of New York,
True.
which is Unova is based on New York. I also referenced dragons, which would be Zekrom and Reshiram, but also recent events, being that this was the day after GoFest ended, which should have been in. And if you looked up Sonic Youth's album, the Whitey album that came out April 5th, 1988, they called themselves the Chacona Youth, which is Madonna's last name.
Which is Chinchino. Madonna
Well, I
Chinchino.
mean, good effort, but there were no Chinchinos in Pokemon Go Fest at all.
That dude.
Also, what was the other thing?
It has 2 forms.
It sings and dances.
Just
What
like
was-
Shakira.
What was that Madonna movie? Dagnabbit, now it just came. I just listened to a whole review of it.
Truth or
You know,
Dare?
it took me
Truth
like
or
8
Dare.
years.
You watch Truth or Dare, you will see Madonna sing and or dance.
It took me like 8 years to realize that Meloetta has like a headset on.
Yes.
What?
It was like very not obvious at first.
If you watch Zootopia, you will see that Shakira can sing and dance.
But Shakira
and
is from Colombia. She is not from New York. I think she's from Colombia.
You don't know. She's from New York now.
Hips don't lie.
Oh, gracious me. Here we go. What do you got to say about Meloetta? Anything?
It is the lightest fighting type Pokemon. It
Is
was
it?
leaked on the poster of Kyurem vs. the Swords of Justice during the Black 2, White 2. It isn't even in that movie.
How is it lighter than Mark Shadow, who is literally a shadow?
I don't know. The Purette form is the lightest.
Pirouette. Pirouette.
It says that Meloetta is the only mythical not to have a starring role in the movie, excluding Fiona, if it is considered one. Yes, Bulbapeda, it is considered one. Stop being a boomer. Get with the times. We already moved past that. Fiona is a mythical Pokemon. Meloetta is always programmed to have a star piece when encountered in the wild in black and white. However, Meloetta cannot be found in the wild in those games. There's some trivia.
Marshadow weighs almost 50 pounds.
I know how. It's a shadow.
That's
It
a
makes
heavy.
no sense.
Don't judge.
But does your shadow weigh 50 pounds?
To be fair, Marshadow has like a weird coat on, like a hoodie.
True.
Could be a very thick hoodie.
The shuffle icon is outstanding. Both shuffle icons, FYI.
Where are these? Yeah, they're pretty good. The eyes are a little
Shiny.
weird.
Look, your eyes are a little weird.
You're
The
not
shiny is
wrong.
good as well.
Stop being so toxic, Greg.
I know.
Well, if you would get into the bottom
the-
lane to do your job.
The Unite is already rubbing off.
I love how Greg called it the bottom row. Okay, this week's Pokemon. Yesterday evening, I had the delightful opportunity to enjoy an evening meal with the Pokemon luminaries Greg Leatherman and Nicholas Burgess. Unfortunately, villainy was afoot. It has become clear to me that at some point during the meal, possibly when I stepped away to the toire, as we were at a Japanese restaurant, someone tampered with my food and or drink. I have become ill almost upon to death today. I was clearly being targeted for someone else's choices as I had chosen an innocent tonkatsu donburi for my dinner. As far as I know, Greg and his husband only ate chicken and vegetable dishes, so the blame clearly falls upon Nicholas Burgess and his spouse as assigned. I believe they shared a plate of odd delicacies, which most likely included the item that caused our table to be targeted. While I frequently avoid restaurants that serve Pokemon in whole or in part dishes, Greg is the one who selected yesterday's place. There are some Pokemon-based foods that can be enjoyed without fainting the Pokemon, but I still object to the process of harming the Pokemon. I suspect one of the most notable types of these dishes, featuring the tail of a not very intelligent Pokemon, was featured on the Burgess's appetizer plate. This particular Pokemon features a split evolutionary line, one with more intelligence than the other, which is further bifurcated based upon which version of the Pokemon it started from and what evolution item was used to evolve it. Only one of this Pokemon's final evolutions has features that contribute towards its potential career as a nefarious assassin. Besides a black cape draped over its shoulders, it is the only evolution that features a mask pulled over its face. It also has easy access to poison, the poison that has brought me to the edge of my grave today. Without a trainer, this Pokemon can only learn one poison-type move. Its evolutionary sibling can learn two. And I do feel that I have both taken damage and had my defense lowered.
That's Zigzagoon. He wears a mask. 'Cause he's
Yep.
a raccoon.
Yep.
Galarian's Zigzagoon, because he's a musician like Nick.
The reason there's a rock fossil event in Masters is because there is a rock fossil event in Go right now, and there was a rock fossil event in Sword and Shield this weekend. I think you can chalk it up to Dialga going back in time to find these fossils, as Dialga is the reward, but also there is a fossil exhibit happening in Japan right now, which is probably actually the reason why these events are happening.
That's so bad.
But this is just the synergy that we say between the games that they've been doing a very good job, at least the last 12 months in doing. There is an Eevee Community Day next month, and ironically enough, Evolving Skies, the next set, which is very Eevee focused, is also coming out next month. I'm going to chalk that up to synergy as well, in my opinion. I feel like that's not like they could redo Eevee Community Day at any point, but they're deciding to do it the month that a huge Eevee TCG set is coming out in America.
No, incorrect. I need to get all the evolutions in order to get to the next level in Pokemon Go, like level 42 or whatever it is.
Oh, they're doing it because Will.
And I just
yeah.
turned over. They got
Yep.
the news. I turned over, so they finally scheduled that community day.
Makes sense. There's been a fly in this room this entire podcast, and I'm losing my mind.
Sure there is. What else? What is the fly telling you right now, Steve?
Guy got to bring like 3 cats in here to take care of this. We will be back next week.
Meowth is lying down on the job.
That's
Wake
true.
Meowth up.
Not doing anything back here. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the Unite talk. If you have any feedback or you think we're wrong, which we're not, you're wrong, obviously. You can comment on the YouTube video. You can continue the discussion in our Discord, which is free, our Slack, which is for our patrons. Really, really would help us out if you go to podcastawards.com, make an account, select It's Super Effective, hit vote. It'll only take like 3 minutes out of your day. Also, I'm having a big birthday stream on Thursday on Twitch. So if you're around on Thursday, we'll be pretty much streaming all day. We'll probably do Unite, Sword and Shield. If there's talks, maybe we do some Mario Kart with people. Look, people love Mario Kart still. Number 1 game on Switch.
I mean, I still love it, but I'm like, oh, God, do I remember how to play?
I don't remember how to play. Maybe we sneak in some other games. I don't know. Barbie Horse Adventure. Who knows? No, I already played that. We've moved past Barbie Horse Adventure.
How about Metopia?
How about we just get rid of Unite? We move to League of Legends. We just commit, bite the bullet, go all in. What's the closest character to Cramorant in League of Legends, Will?
I don't know the characters. I only know one character, and that's Yasuo. So
I'm a Yasuo main now.
You're not toxic enough. I'm sorry.
We promise we'll be more toxic next week when we are all full-time Unite professional players. We'll have the jerseys made. It'll be good. Thank you.
Can I design the jerseys? Oh, please.
Thank you for listening.
For all the Yasuo mains out there, for why you need to understand that what Yasuo, you're a toxic person, it's because Yasuo's key phrase that he yells out in the game is Hazaki, and then I know all of the Yasuo mains out there convert that phrase at every chance they have to use it and yell it out. So, like, if somebody has to go to the bathroom, they yell out Hasapi, etc. And I'm tired of it.
That is the secret word for today's episode.
If I'm walking to the front door of your house, you don't have to yell Hasaki.
Is Hasapi.
First off, Cramorant and Slowpoke, the best combo in Unite. Anyways, we will be back next week. Greg is at White Wing on Twitter. Will is at Wash at the Sink. I am at Dragging a Lake. If you want to follow the podcast on social, it is PKMNcast on Patreon, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all that stuff. We will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week. This has been another episode of that was a weird ending. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super Speedsters go to the jungle.
Speedsters got a jungle.
Speedsters got jungle.